What about like, so now you've accomplished this goal. We talked about this kind of the goal and the process reaching and accomplish this goal. And there's sometimes like a little bit of I won't say a letdown, but like there's a little bit like, all right, you had this goal, you accomplished it. Now, how do we get back on the horse? What have you been you just got back actually into town yesterday night, or even
late
I guess
last night.
early last night,
early morning. Yeah.
So early morning, you can say like, what are you, like, what's going to be your process to get back into the gym?
So I'll be honest, like competitions aren't like that big of a deal to me anymore. I like doing them.
Yeah.
And they're fun for me to do because there's something like, there's like a fun, it's an experience. Like you get on it, you're on edge, and it's just this whole experience with it. And it forces you to train harder because you got this thing coming up. And I like going through that as much as it is like kind of an emotional roller coaster, and it can be exciting and nervous and all that stuff. But I like that because I'm like, it lets me know I'm alive, right? Because you think about, like, for instance, when I see my wife, like when I got back from the trip, I was very excited to see her.
Yeah.
You know, the reason, here's why I bring this up. A lot of people, they always get so upset about being nervous and about feeling whatever. I'm like, well, it's okay. Like, you're supposed to. Your heart's beating. Like, if you don't get nervous for a competition, it means that you probably didn't train hard for it. It doesn't mean anything to you, or you're probably getting ready to die. It's some like, you know, you just have no feeling. You're just like numb to everything, right? Like you're just whatever. But obviously, it's probably not that. It's probably just you just don't care, right? But like for all of us, right, when you get ready to do something that's meaningful to you, it means something to you. And so like it'd be like, I see my wife and I'm excited to see her because she means a lot to me. If I wasn't excited to see her, there would be a problem.
Sure.
You know, and it's like that with competitions. If you're not nervous and excited for it, there's a problem. And so again, but that's kind of a fun experience. I think every time you go to a competition, it's worth like months of regular training, you know, because like you really get this like the whole experience of training for, 4 to 8 weeks or whatever you do, and then your competition, that is like 6 months of training
Compressed
in a shorter amount of time, and it makes you better. It just does. Like, it's just one of those things where everybody's said this, like jiu-jitsu competition makes you better. And I know some people that don't want to compete will, like, they might not want to hear that, but it's just the reality, right? Like when you talk about a competitor black belt or a competitor brown belt, like we mean that person to be in high esteem, right? That person's good.
Yeah.
Right. Because we know that, like, we inherently know that people that compete, they get better. And when I mean better as in the sense that they can execute their jiu-jitsu on you better than you can them. That's what I mean by better.
Yeah.
Because, again, that can be kind of an ambiguous term. But
just getting back to it. Like, what are you doing to get back?
Normal stuff. So today it's just a rest day. I'm so like lethargic today.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of out of it. I'm just like, and so anytime I do a competition, there's always like between the competition, the flight, everything else, there's like a slump afterwards. And so I just kind of like, I'm aware of it. I don't judge it, and I'll just ride it out, and I'll just set my expectations a little bit low. But we're talking about goals. This is why I brought that up. I don't have the same like sort of like accomplishment fatigue that I do from like some other goals, because I've got a friggin' ton of medals, got a ton of wins. It is what it is, and it's not like when you watch me win, it's like, okay, cool, got my hand raised, off to the next match, no big deal. I'm not going to get up and scream. I'm not going to yell, nothing like that. I'm just like, all right, I won, cool. That's it. I didn't do it for any other. I did it for me, not for those reasons. You know what I mean? So if I would have gone out there, competed, and like, won the matches or something, and nobody knew it, it's fine. Like, I don't care. And so, but I don't have that same sort of like that neediness for that win.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. So I don't have such a letdown from it anymore.
Yeah, I got you.
But I do feel like lethargic, and you can think about that just from like a central nervous system issue. Like your body just went through something intense. You got jet lag. You got all these things going on, and so like, and even like regularly, like when I hit a slump, like with training or with just anything, I don't. The thing that's been helpful as I've gotten older is basically just not making a judgment on it. If you become aware of it, like, oh, I'm in a slump, like lower your expectations of yourself, and then just like let it happen. Instead of getting frustrated with yourself. People get frustrated because they want to be hyper productive. They want to, like, I got to keep grinding and stuff like that. And just back off, just chill. It's fine. Like it's telling you something, right? Like you're in a slump maybe because you're doing the same stuff over and over again. You're in a slump because you're overtraining. In my case, I'm in a slump now, and I probably will be for a couple days because I just went through something that was very like physically and mentally taxing. Flew across the country, ate a bunch of bad food. Well, not bad food, but ate a bunch of off diet food when I was there after my matches, and I'm just like, my body's just recovering.
Yeah.
And so like, I might move around a little bit and do a little this, a little that, get a sweat, sit in a sauna, but I'm not gonna like try to push hard through it. I'm just gonna give it some time. Let it do its thing, because it's a symptom. There's something going on with my body. My body's recovering. It's not a bad thing. It just is. And so just kind of ride it out. And so with recovery, I just try to like ease back into things after the competition. Like I said, I'll probably do some really light lifts and some sauna and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy for at least about another 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.